some sad day, it may happen to you that Eclipse goes all bad. It actually just happened to me. I couldn't quite duplicate the exact situation, but I'll sort of show you what happened. Um, you can see over here in my sad Eclipse world, there's a lot of red ink, a lot of red X's over here, and that's all bad news. That's saying I have lots and lots of problems in my code. Um, and you can see here in the problem section, I can zoom this up, and you can see there's a lot of problems here, and these problems are typical of one particular situation. Okay, so the problem up here at the top is that the less than greater than operator is not allowed for source level blah blah blah. Let me put this back to restore in its original position. This is a symptom that my Eclipse workspace or project are not configured to be using the correct version of Java. So there's several things you can run down to check this. So let me sort of start with one of them. So first thing you want to do is you want to go to Eclipse Preferences. And again, if you're on Windows, that will be under Window Preferences. And what we're looking at here is the Java tab. And what we're particularly interested in is the compiler and the installed JREs. So one thing you can look is see what are the installed JREs. And you can see here that Java 8 is installed. Okay, that's fine. If you do not have Java 8, then you have a problem. And you should go back and just reinstall Java, reinstall Eclipse. Make sure you have it selected, make sure it's all correct. So that's the first thing. So now here I do have Java 8 installed, so that's not my problem. So let me look then at the compiler. What you want to look here is at the compliance level. So the Java allows you to comply to any previous version of the language if you want to export your source to older compilers. You can check it this way. And it's important that we be at 1.8. But as you can see here, I am already at 1.8. And therefore, this is not the problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is say OK here. It is possible that somehow you got this particular project messed up. So projects do have properties. So let me select the ALGS4 project here, and I'll go to Project Properties. And I'm going to go again to the Java compiler tab. And here, this little checkbox is checked. Ooh, and this is my problem. You can see here that the compliance level for the project is set incorrectly. The best thing to do here is just disable project-specific settings. And then we can say OK here, and it will rebuild my project. Let's see what happens. You can always say always run in background here. And let's see if that fixes it for me. So in this case, that actually fixed it for me, so everything is hunky-dory. I have had just recently the case where I deleted a workspace, restored it, and somehow the whole thing got into a terrible, terrible mess. So I looked at all these things and they all looked fine. So let me just tell you what I did that seemed to fix it. I went here to the Eclipse Java compiler settings. I temporarily downgraded to 1.7, built the code. That will give you some errors, and then moved it back up to 1.8. And that was able to get rid of the problems for me. It's worth noting what the problems look like if the compliance level is at 1.7. So if we have a compliance level here at 1.7, then you're not going to get as many errors. In fact, you're just going to have errors, it looks like currently in the utilities package. And what you're getting here is an error saying, with a bunch of errors in this program called trace.java. Things like lambda expressions are not allowed, cannot refer to the non-final local variable defined in an enclosing scope. So things like this. Okay, so if you're getting these errors, that means you have a similar problem as before. It's just that your compliance level is at 1.7. So again, you should go through the same sort of debugging strategy here and ensure that your compliance level is up at 1.8 and everything is good to go.